gmna uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good evening, Montreal. Tonight we'll look at the city's push to revive the Eastern REM line and explore its link to the Green Line, plus a province-wide backpack drive reaching 12,000 students. I'll also share the Metro's upcoming 60-year celebration. Over to you, Emma.
The Coram Community Center is hosting a free outdoor art market this Saturday, from noon to 4 p.m., showcasing local painters, ceramicists, and acoustic musicians.
Organizers note that the market will occupy the Coram courtyard beside the main library, with ample seating, child-friendly zones, and complimentary refreshments for visitors.
Over 30 local artists have confirmed participation, including a muralist who will create a live painting piece on the center's exterior wall during the event.
Lots to get to. Let's begin with our evening coverage after that wonderful Coram Art Market preview for everyone tuning in tonight. Here are our top stories. Montreal's mayor and the Martinez-Ferrada administration are proposing to restart the halted eastern segment of the REM, exploring a new connection to the Green Metro line after the May 22 cancellation. Nadia Bellafuel has the full story.
The city is moving to bring back the eastern stretch of the REM, targeting a restart in 2026. Under the Martinez-Ferrada administration, officials say they will rework the route to tie into the Green Metro line, hoping a direct connection will ease the concerns that stalled the original plan. The project was shelved in May 2022 after downtown residents pushed back, citing social acceptance issues. By linking the REM to the Green Line, planners aim to create a seamless corridor that serves both commuters and the neighborhoods along the eastern corridor. The revised proposal is now under review, with city engineers drafting new alignment options. The city hopes the updated plan will gain broader community backing and move the project forward. Nadia Bellafuel, GMNA News, Montreal. Backpacks are heading to classrooms across the province as the Operation Sac à Dos drive kicks off this morning. The launch began at 11 o'clock Eastern Time, with volunteers gathering at designated drop-off points. Anne-Marie Athier, representing the Regroupement Partage Coalition, announced the program will supply 12,000 students from low-income families with fully stocked backpacks. The initiative, highlighted by Sean Henry of CBC Montreal, aims to remove the barrier of missing supplies for the upcoming school year. Organizers say each bag contains notebooks, pens, pencils, and other essentials, ensuring every child can start the term on equal footing. Provincial education officials have pledged ongoing funding to sustain the effort beyond this year, building on similar campaigns that have helped thousands in previous years. Distribution will roll out through schools and community centers over the next several weeks, reaching families in urban and rural areas alike.
Transit Authority SDM has rolled out a series of events to honor 60 years of the Metro, set to begin on 14 October. The celebration will feature special station daker, free rides for seniors on the opening day, and a public exhibition tracing the network's evolution since its debut in 1966. SDM officials say the program aims to highlight the system's role in connecting neighborhoods from the Plateau to Verdun and beyond. A series of guided tours will run throughout October, giving riders a behind-the-scenes look at tunnels, art installations, and the engineering feats that keep the trains moving. The authority also announced a limited-edition commuter pass, available at station kiosks to commemorate the milestone. Residents can expect a festive atmosphere across the island as the city marks this historic anniversary.
Unions are rallying at Montreal's Old Port, decrying what they call a privatization that restricts public river access. Demonstrators have placed protest signs throughout the area. Matthew Lachance has the full story.
Union members have gathered along the quays of the Old Port, unfurling banners that condemn what they describe as a push toward privatization. They argue the recent changes to the waterfront restrict the public's ability to reach the river, turning a historic public space into a limited access zone. Protest signs dot the promenade, each bearing messages about lost river access and calls for the city to keep the port open to everyone. Officials acknowledge the concerns but say the revisions aim to improve maintenance and safety. The demonstration continues through the morning, with workers standing shoulder to shoulder, reminding passers-by that the river has long been a shared resource. Matthew Lachance, GMNA News, Old Port.
Today, the governments of Quebec, Newfoundland and Labrador and the federal cabinet announced a new agreement on the Churchill Falls hydroelectric project, calling it a win-win-win for all parties. The pact resolves a decades-long dispute over power sales and revenue sharing that has strained relations between the two provinces. Under the deal, Newfoundland and Labrador will receive higher royalties while Quebec secures additional power imports at favorable rates, and the federal government will provide a short-term bridge loan to fund infrastructure upgrades. Officials said the arrangement will boost Quebec's energy security, lower consumer costs and create jobs in the province's northern grid. Political analysts note the timing could sway voters as the province heads toward a provincial election later this year. All three leaders hailed the accord as a model for inter-provincial cooperation. Up next, the Breakfast Club reveals 1 in 3 Quebec children face food insecurity. Stay tuned, we will be right back.
Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes, the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news. Welcome back. Earlier today, 10 Montreal residents reported that their Hilo Smart thermostats, supplied by Hydro-Quebec, ignited, filling homes with smoke and a burnt odor. The owners say the devices caught fire without warning and that Hydro-Quebec has not replied to their complaints. Incidents were reported in the Plateau Montreal, Mile End, and Verdun neighborhoods. Hydro-Quebec distributes the Hilo thermostats as part of its residential energy efficiency program, but the company has not issued a public statement addressing the incidents. Fire officials responded to the calls, confirming that the appliances produced flames and smoke but no injuries were recorded. Crews advised owners to disconnect the thermostats immediately and to refrain from using them pending further guidance. The affected households are seeking direction while awaiting a response from the utility. A Hydro-Quebec spokesperson declined to comment when approached for a statement.
A recent report from the Club des Petits Déjeuners finds that 1 in 3 children across Quebec live in households facing food insecurity, highlighting ongoing nutritional challenges for families. Matthew Lachance has the full story.
1 in 3 Quebec children are now living in households where food insecurity is a daily reality, according to a new report released by the Breakfast Club. The study, compiled by the Club des Petits Déjeuners, surveyed families across the province and found that a significant portion of households cannot guarantee reliable nutrition for their youngsters. Researchers noted that the problem spans both urban centers and rural communities, with many parents reporting skipped meals and reliance on charitable food programs. The findings come as policymakers continue to grapple with rising costs of living and limited access to affordable, healthy food options. The report adds to ongoing data on family nutrition challenges across the province. Matthew Lachance, GMNA News, Montreal.
On Monday, the Parti Québécois unveiled a plan to roll out a universal monthly mobility pass priced at $95. Party leaders Thomas Gerbet and François Joly presented the proposal alongside Transport Minister Monique Néron, arguing it would guarantee every Québécois access to public transit. Analysts warned that the scheme could create a $77 million revenue gap for the province's transit operators, forcing companies to absorb the shortfall or seek additional subsidies. The party says the pass would replace the patchwork of fare structures currently in place and fulfill a long-standing pledge to make transportation affordable for all. Critics note that financing the initiative would require either higher taxes, cuts to other services, or a substantial reallocation of the transport budget. The debate is set to dominate the upcoming budget discussions.
Yesterday, the province's Auditor General warned that the incoming government faces a clear fiscal crossroads. Citing a lower than usual economic growth outlook, the office said the budget gap will only widen unless spending is sharply reduced. The auditor's report stresses that without decisive cuts, a balanced budget remains out of reach despite any revenue measures. It points to current program expenditures that exceed projected revenues and calls for tighter controls across departments. The recommendation arrives as the new administration prepares its first budget, putting pressure on ministers to prioritize cuts while preserving essential services. Officials have not yet detailed which line items will be trimmed, but the auditor's warning underscores the urgency of restoring fiscal health before the deficit deepens further. The province's current deficit, projected at several $billion, reflects the slowdown and fuels concerns among investors and municipalities alike.
The City of Montreal has postponed approval for a new school in Park Extension, citing the need to verify projected student age population growth. The Martinez-Ferrada administration and CSSDM await further data. Ramai Gaudreau has the full story.
City officials are still pushing back on the plan to erect a new elementary school in Park Extension, while the Centre de Services Scolaires de Montreal released fresh enrollment forecasts that suggest a rise in school-aged children. The municipal administration says it won't green-light construction until those numbers are independently verified. Council members argue the projected growth must be solid enough to justify the expense and the use of public land. The school board's latest study points to a modest uptick in families moving into the neighborhood, but city planners remain cautious, citing the need for a thorough demographic audit before committing resources. No final approval has been granted, leaving the project in limbo. Ramai Gaudreau, GMNA News, Park Extension.
Now let's see what tonight's skies hold with our weather team for you.
Steady near average pressure and a westward jet stream keep tonight dry while temperatures linger above average. On this date, the thermometer has swung to extremes. The all-time high of 30.9 degrees Celsius was set in 2015 during an unprecedented heat wave that pushed the city well above its usual summer norm. By contrast, the record low of 9.2 degrees Celsius fell in 2025, a rare early autumn chill that arrived with an Arctic dip that. Our climatological normals for August sit around 24 degrees high and 16 degrees low, so today's 27-degree peak feels warm but not record-breaking. On the radar screen, the echoes are flat across the province, confirming a completely dry column of air. The western jet, cruising at 117 kilometers per hour, is steering any moisture well north of the St. Lawrence. With no precipitation cells in sight, the next few hours will remain clear, allowing the current partly cloudy sky to hold until after midnight. At 6 p.m., Montreal sits at 24 degrees with partly cloudy skies and a gentle southwest breeze of 4 kilometers per hour. The atmosphere is dominated by a near-average pressure system that is neither rising nor falling, so the air mass remains stable. Overhead, the jet stream punches westward at 117 kilometers per hour, capping any ascent and keeping moisture out. As a result, tonight will stay dry, with temperatures slipping to 16 degrees by sunrise. The UV index reads 5, and wind will not exceed 12 kilometers per hour, so no wind advisory is needed. No weather alerts are active. With the pattern holding, we now turn to the 5-day outlook. Wednesday brings a modest drop to 22 degrees high and 16 degrees low, but an overcast sky will carry a 40% chance of rain as a weak frontal wave slides eastward. Thursday brightens sharply with clear skies and a high of 23 degrees, the low holding steady at 15, giving the city a dry respite. Friday remains similar, 24 degrees maximum and 15 degrees minimum under another clear dome. Saturday nudges warmer to 26 degrees while staying dry, a pleasant stretch before the weekend. Sunday returns a cooler 22-degree peak, yet the atmosphere will still be unsettled, delivering a 60% rain probability as another moisture surge approaches from the west. And that's your weather. Remember, the local sunset is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on Amazon Music or wherever you get your podcasts.
Coming up, traffic, what's on tonight, and a look at the Canadians' top 25 under 25. We will be right back.
Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news. All major routes are moving freely this afternoon. Autoroute 6, Autoroute 15, and the Dakery Expressway show smooth traffic with travel times at normal levels. Downtown arteries such as Boulevard St. Laurent, Rue Sherbrooke, and Rue St. Catherine are clear, and the bridge to the South Shore reports no slowdowns. The metro system runs on schedule, all 3 lines are operating without delay, and the commuter trains to the West Island are on time. No construction zones are causing bottlenecks at the moment, though crews remain on Rue Notre Dame and will resume work after 6 p.m. Expect the usual build-up on the southbound lanes of Autoroute 15, and on the downtown core once the evening rush begins around 5 p.m. later this evening. The eastbound lanes of Autoroute 20 near Turcotte may slow slightly as trucks head back. Cyclists expect more pedestrians near the Old Port at dusk. Overall, with clear skies and normal flow, your commute should remain uneventful.
The National Bank Open Women's Tournament is on at IGA Stadium, delivering world-class tennis in our backyard. A chance to see rising stars and seasoned champions battle on the hard courts, with an electric atmosphere for any tennis fan. At the Montreal Convention Centre, the Conseil des Relations Internationales de Montréal hosts the CORIM Community Gathering, a hub where scholars and diplomats discuss global challenges and forge new partnerships, perfect for anyone curious about Montreal's role on the world stage. Across town, the Université de Montréal holds its Collation des Grades ceremony, honoring new graduates as they receive their diplomas, a proud moment that highlights the city's vibrant academic and research community. Looking ahead, the Warped Tour Montreal arrives at Parc Jean-Drapeau in 3 days, promising 2 days of punk, hardcore, and alternative energy that will electrify the summer soundtrack, with surprise guest appearances and a lineup spanning underground to mainstream. And now here's Jason with sports.
Summer's heat fuels a fresh look at Habs prospects, contracts, and historic battles. Owen Protz, the 20-year-old fourth-round pick from the Brantford Bulldogs, brings a bruising, old-school style to Montreal's blue line. Though his point totals slipped last year, his physicality fits a team seeking tougher defensive depth as he steps into the pro ranks this season. Arbor Eksekej and Zachary Bolduc remain unsigned restricted free agents, leaving Montreal's roster calculus open as the off-season progresses. Meanwhile, forward prospect Alexei Vlasov earned a rookie camp invitation, signaling the club's continued search for depth. And Yuppie joins the best NHL mascot race, adding a touch of hometown flair. Jard Davidson's season split between a promising first half, highlighted by an NHL debut and a 9-goal, 2-assist surge with the Laval Rocket, and a muted second half, where he posted 7 goals and 7 assists over 40 games. After a 24-goal campaign the year before, his dip to 16 raises questions about his next role. Jakob Dobish earned a spot as the league's 10th best goaltender in NHL Network's preseason rankings, positioning him as a key piece for Montreal's net front as the club eyes stability between the pipes. His standing underscores the importance of elite goaltending in the upcoming campaign. The Canadiens' tradition of turning the captaincy into a summer debate keeps the franchise anything but dull, sparking passionate fan arguments each off-season. Revisiting those past contests reminds us how leadership battles have shaped locker room dynamics and added a unique narrative thread to Montreal's storied history. LJ Mooney embraces his diminutive frame, drawing confidence from the rise of Cole Caulfield and Lane Hutson as proof that size isn't a barrier in Montreal. With the Habs sitting comfortably under the cap, his development could mirror those small forward successes, adding depth without the financial strain seen in Pacific rebuilds. Stay tuned as Montreal builds its roster for a championship push.
Thanks, Jason. Good Food Market Corp, based in downtown Montreal, has entered creditor protection as it looks for a buyer and new investors. The homegrown meal kit company, which delivers chef-crafted dishes to families across Canada, announced a court-approved sale process but says kitchens will stay open and staff will remain on the line. With roughly 230 employees nationwide, the firm expects no immediate layoffs, preserving the daily deliveries many Montrealers rely on. Its downtown hub fuels nearby farmers and food service partners, keeping the local supply chain humming. By pioneering sustainable meal kits, Good Food has helped put Montreal on the map as a testing ground for green food innovation, a reminder that the city's entrepreneurial spirit endures. Later we'll honor jazz legend Oliver Jones with a funeral in Little Burgundy, then reveal RCMP's Peruvian bowl find. Stay tuned.
Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news. Welcome back. Montreal will host a public funeral for jazz legend Oliver Jones at Union United Church in Little Burgundy on Monday evening, honoring the 91-year-old pianist who passed away on July 22nd. Ramai Gaudreau has the full story.
Families, friends, and fellow musicians will gather tonight at Union United Church in Little Burgundy for a public funeral honoring Oliver Jones, the city's beloved jazz pianist. Jones, who first touched the church's piano at 5 years old, passed away on July 22nd at 91. The service will feature a tribute performance by members of the local jazz community, followed by a moment of silence. Organizers have invited anyone who wishes to celebrate his life and music to attend. The church doors will remain open after the ceremony for guests to share memories. A memorial plaque will be unveiled later this week to mark his decades of contribution to Montreal's jazz scene. Ramai Gaudreau, GMNA News, Little Burgundy.
The Royal Canadian Mounted Police recovered an ancient Peruvian ceramic bowl discovered in Montreal, working with the Peruvian Embassy and Global Affairs Canada to arrange its repatriation to Peru. Colette Barbeau has the full story.
RCMP officers on Thursday helped secure an ancient Peruvian ceramic bowl that had surfaced in Montreal, working alongside officials from the Peruvian Embassy and Global Affairs Canada. The artifact, dating back centuries, was discovered earlier this month in a local warehouse, prompting a joint investigation. After confirming its provenance, the embassy formally requested that Canada repatriate the piece to Peru, and Canadian authorities coordinated the handover. The bowl will travel to Lima later this week under diplomatic escort, marking a successful collaboration between law enforcement and foreign ministries. The RCMP's Cultural Property Unit handled the secure packaging, and Peruvian officials will display the bowl at Lima's National Museum once it arrives. Colette Barbeau, GMNA News, Montreal.
Thank you, Montreal, for joining us on the local sunset. Tonight's glimpse into the upcoming 60-year Metro anniversary reminded us of the city's vibrant history. Stay tuned tomorrow for more stories shaping our community, and as always, we look forward to sharing them with you. See you then.